It was a cold January day in New York City, just another Thursday at LaGuardia Airport. The city bustled as usual, with the distant hum of traffic and the crisp air hinting at the promise of snow. Inside the airport, the day began like countless others, with the familiar rhythm of arrivals and departures. Travelers hurried to their gates, each with their own story, each heading somewhere. Some were lost in thought, others chatting on phones, all moving with purpose through the terminal's bright lights and echoing announcements. Among them were mothers, fathers, business people, families, and friends. There were seasoned flyers and first-timers, all sharing the anticipation and routine of air travel. They were about to board U.S. Airways Flight 1549, bound for Charlotte. For most, it was just another leg in a journey, a brief hop between cities. No one suspected this routine flight would become legendary. The day's ordinariness masked the extraordinary events about to unfold. The flight crew prepared the Airbus A320. Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger, First Officer Jeffrey Skiles, and 3 flight attendants. Each brought years of experience, professionalism, and calm to their roles, running through checklists and safety protocols as they had countless times before. Passengers found their seats, buckled up, and settled in. Some stowed bags overhead, others glanced at their phones or leafed through magazines. The mood was ordinary, the routines familiar. There was a sense of comfort in the predictability of it all. 155 people, a cross-section of America, ready for a short flight. Each person carried hopes, plans, and expectations for the day ahead. Safety announcements played, but few paid close attention. Most passengers had heard it all before, their minds already drifting to their destinations. Trust in the crew and the system was implicit. Air travel had become routine, almost mundane for so many. The plane pushed back, engines roaring to life. The familiar vibrations signaled the start of another journey. The aircraft taxied to the runway, ready for takeoff. Outside, the winter landscape stretched out, white and silent. For everyone on board, it was just another journey. Some gazed out the windows, watching the city recede, while others closed their eyes, eager for a brief rest. But this time, the destination would not be an airport. The flight path would soon veer into the unexpected. The world outside was busy, unaware of what was about to unfold. Life in the city continued, oblivious to the drama about to play out above. The plane lifted off, climbing into the winter sky. The engines hummed steadily as the city shrank below. Passengers expected a routine trip, but fate had other plans. In the cabin, laughter and quiet conversations filled the air, masking the uncertainty that lay ahead. In minutes, their lives would be changed forever. The ordinary would soon give way to the unimaginable. The journey ahead would test courage, skill, and the human spirit. Every decision, every moment would matter. No one could have predicted what was coming. The sky seemed calm, but destiny was about to intervene. The ordinary was about to become extraordinary. In a matter of seconds, everything would change. The story of Flight 1549 was about to begin. A story that would capture the world's attention and inspire millions. A day like any other. Until it wasn't. In the blink of an eye, the routine would become a fight for survival. And in the end, survival would be the only destination that mattered. For those on board, this ordinary day would become a defining moment, etched forever in memory and history. Cactus 1549 was cleared for takeoff, its engines roaring to life as the aircraft rolled down the runway. The anticipation in the cockpit was matched only by the quiet excitement among the passengers, many of whom gazed out the windows, unaware of what was to come. Captain Sully and First Officer Skiles expertly guided the Airbus A320 into the morning sky, their hands steady on the controls as the plane lifted gracefully above the tarmac. The climb was smooth, the city sprawling below like a living map. Sunlight glinted off skyscrapers as the aircraft ascended, engines humming with reassuring power. Passengers relaxed in their seats, some reading, others chatting quietly. Flight attendants moved through the aisle, preparing for the routine service ahead, unaware that routine was about to shatter. 90 seconds after takeoff, disaster struck with terrifying speed. A flock of Canada geese appeared out of nowhere, their dark shapes filling the windshield in an instant. There was no time to react, no chance to avoid the birds. The birds slammed into both engines with a sickening force, sending shudders through the entire aircraft. Loud thuds echoed through the cabin, then, sudden silence. The engines were dead, and the familiar hum vanished in an instant. The plane became a glider, losing altitude over New York, its fate now uncertain as it drifted silently above the city. Fear spread among the passengers, their faces turning from calm to anxious as they realized something was terribly wrong. In the cockpit, alarms blared and warning lights flashed, demanding immediate action. Both engines had failed at low altitude, a pilot's nightmare scenario, leaving almost no margin for error. Sully and Skiles had only moments to act, their training and instincts now the only hope for everyone on board. The fate of 155 people hung in the balance, every life dependent on the next decisions made in the cockpit. The ordinary flight had become a crisis in seconds, transforming the cabin atmosphere from routine to tense uncertainty. The world below was unaware, the city's daily rhythm undisturbed, but for those in the sky, everything had changed in a heartbeat. The pilots faced impossible odds. Every second counted as they fought to regain control and find a solution. The story of survival was now in motion. The unthinkable had happened, and the next few minutes would decide everything. Now, it was up to the crew. Every action, every decision, would mean the difference between disaster and hope. The engines were silent. The Airbus A320 was now a powerless glider. Captain Sully took control. "My aircraft." First Officer Skiles. "Your aircraft." The teamwork began. The plane descended rapidly, gravity pulling it toward the city. Options for landing were vanishing. The pilots tried to restart the engines, no luck. The bird strike had done too much damage. Air traffic control was notified. Cactus 1549, hit birds. We've lost thrust in both engines. Sully considered turning back to LaGuardia or heading to Teterboro, but the plane was too low. The city below offered no safe landing. Time was running out. The pilots had to make a decision, fast. Training and instinct took over. The impossible scenario was now reality. Every move mattered. The next choice would decide everything. A new plan was forming. With airports out of reach, Sully scanned the city below, searching desperately for any sign of hope. Every second counted, and the weight of 155 lives pressed on his shoulders. Skyscrapers, bridges, millions of lives, no safe place to land. The city was a maze of obstacles, each one a reminder of the impossible odds. Then, through the chaos, he saw the Hudson River, a narrow ribbon of possibility winding through the heart of Manhattan. It wasn't a runway, but it was the only option. The river offered a slim chance, a glimmer of hope in a city of stone and steel. Sully made the call. "We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson." His voice was steady, calm, and clear, even as the unimaginable unfolded. Air traffic control kept offering runways, but Sully knew the truth. There was no turning back, no time to second guess. He turned the plane south, lining up with the river, making split-second decisions with unwavering focus. The George Washington Bridge loomed ahead. He cleared it by mere feet, the margin for error razor thin. On the ground, people stared in disbelief at the low-flying jet, realizing something extraordinary was happening above their city. In the cockpit, Sully and Skiles worked as one, every movement coordinated, every word measured. Skiles tried to restart the engines. Sully focused on the landing. Both men relied on training, instinct, and trust in each other. The crew's calm set the tone for everyone. Passengers clung to hope, watching the crew for reassurance. Decades of experience had led to this moment. Every lesson, every flight, had prepared Sully for these critical seconds. There was no time for doubt, only action, only resolve. The river was their only hope. Sully's leadership was unwavering. The plan was set, and every heartbeat brought them closer to the water. The city watched, holding its breath. The final approach began, and history was about to be written on the waters of the Hudson. In the cabin, the flight attendants, Donna Dent, Doreen Welsh, and Sheila Dale, sprang into action. They heard Sully's command. "Brace for impact." Instantly they shouted, "Brace, brace, heads down, stay down." Passengers followed, fear turning to focus. The attendants moved through the cabin, checking positions, offering reassurance. Training took over. Panic was kept at bay. Even as the plane descended, the crew stayed composed. Doreen Welsh, injured in the rear, kept helping passengers. The teamwork between cockpit and cabin was seamless. Everyone had a role, everyone trusted each other. The goal was clear: get everyone out alive. The ultimate test was seconds away. The Hudson River filled the windows. Sully flew manually, aiming for a perfect water landing. The margin for error was razor thin. Inside, the flight attendants kept chanting, "Brace! Heads down! Stay down!" Passengers clung to hope, bracing for the unknown. Sully's final announcement: "Brace for impact!" The tail struck the water first. A violent jolt. Water sprayed over the windows. The plane skipped, then slid to a stop. The sound of tearing metal was terrifying. The fuselage held together. Against all odds, the landing was survivable. The first part of the miracle was complete. The plane floated, battered but intact. Relief and disbelief swept through the cabin. The impossible had happened. Now, survival depended on what came next. The clock was ticking again. The plane stopped, but the danger wasn't over. Water rushed in. The aircraft was sinking. Sully's voice: "Evacuate!" Flight attendants opened exits, deployed slides and rafts. Passengers moved quickly, helping each other. Some stood on the wings, others climbed into rafts. The water was freezing. Hypothermia, a real threat. Ferries and rescue boats sped toward the scene. Crews pulled survivors from the wings, wrapped them in blankets. The city's response was immediate and heroic. Sully walked the cabin twice, ensuring no one was left behind. Only when all were safe did he leave the plane. 155 people rescued, not a single life lost. The miracle on the Hudson was real, a perfect outcome to an impossible situation. Flight 1549 became a global symbol of hope and heroism. Captain Sully and his crew were celebrated, but Sully credited the entire team. The event led to major changes in aviation safety. Engine standards improved, emergency equipment upgraded. The story became a case study in crisis management. Survivors formed a unique bond, gathering to honor the crew and their second chance at life. The miracle on the Hudson inspired millions. It proved that training, teamwork, and calm leadership save lives. The legacy endures in every safer flight today. The event taught us to value life and community. It's a testament to resilience and the power of ordinary people. The world saw what's possible when people rise to the occasion. The story continues to inspire. The story of Flight 1549 is about more than a plane crash. It's about humanity, strangers uniting in crisis. Pilots, crew, passengers, and rescuers all played a part. The city of New York rallied, showing compassion and unity. The event became a symbol of hope and possibility. The decisions made in 208 seconds saved 155 lives. The miracle on the Hudson is a celebration of the human spirit. It's about courage, professionalism, and selflessness. The plane now sits in a museum, but the real legacy lives on. It's a timeless reminder of what people can achieve together. Against all odds, hope took flight, and the world will never forget.